Hi everyone, it's Marlene here from Stock Paper Scissors. I'm going to post a video and I'm pretty embarrassed to even think I'm going to do this video. But I've watched quite a few other videos on YouTube and I realize I'm not alone in thinking that my craft room is a mess and it's embarrassing. I have started cleaning it up. It's almost Christmas Day here, so I'm done with projects until probably between Christmas and New Year's. I might do some crafting. So I thought I better start putting stuff away. I got a lot of stuff out from crafts that I was doing before Christmas. So I started doing that, and I want to rearrange a bunch of stuff, and I want to get some more storage containers to make it look not quite so messy. So I thought, well, I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to do like a lot of other YouTubers and I'm going to video this. So bear with me. It is really a mess. Hopefully it's not going to be when I'm finished. I'll probably do this in a couple of parts because I don't think it's fair to make you watch me zoom through every little thing that I'm cleaning up because I'm going to be doing some purging as well. So this is the entryway into my craft room. I'll try and go slow so it don't make anybody dizzy. As you come in, to the left of my door, I have this pile of stuff. This is eventually going to be an extra shower room in our house. My craft room is in the basement. And our guest room is in the basement, so we thought it would be nice to have a shower here someday for our guests. I do have a powder room. It's in that door there. It's just a toilet and a sink, but it's still really handy for cleaning up after my messes. But for now, this space is a catch-all for many, many different things, including toys my grandsons have grown out of and I just haven't been able to part with yet. Some craft items that belong to other members of the family. Anyways, it's stuff that I have to go through and either purge or find a better spot for it. Here I have this buffet hutch. We used to have a dining room set that belonged with this, and when we bought this house and moved here 5 years ago, it came with a large dining room set. I tried to sell this buffet hutch but didn't have any luck, so my husband moved it down here, and it houses collections of things that I've made over the years. Some paperweights, a bunch of Red Rose tea weighed figurines that my grandmother started me collecting many, many years ago. And just some other items that I'm not quite ready to part with yet. At some point I have to ask my daughters if they're wanting any of these items, and if not, I'll have to sell or get rid of them somehow. In the bottom, there's just some more vintage items and stuff stored in those doors. I have a perpetual calendar, and on the top of it, it has different plates for each month. So they're stored in there. Yeah, just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. I'm not going to go through that because I have nowhere else to store it for now. That's going to stay the same. Then as you come around, that box down there has scrapbooking albums that I've completed through the years, as well as this box in the bottom. This box has random lace and material that I use in my scrapbooking. This one is full of pieces of sari and materials that I also use in my scrapbooking. This is a container I got at the thrift store. And this is an old makeup suitcase that was my grandmother's. And it is full of doilies. all different colors, mostly creams and stuff. And for now, I'll keep that in there. It's not really in the way unless I find a better solution. Over here, oh, this on my door is something I made, and it just hangs there because I love the colors and it's pretty. And then we start over here. This trunk is full of older children's books that I'll probably repurpose or take to the thrift store. So I'll have to go through that. This box contains a doll that I've had since I was about 5 years old, gifted to me from my grandmother. It stays in the box. It's a bride doll. It's lacy, and I'd love to display it, but for some reason it freaks out my grandsons. They won't come in this room if it's showing. They say it looks like Chucky. I don't know. Anyways, for now, until they grow up and they're okay with it, it stays stored in that box. Over here, this is the only bookshelf I have left in my house. We used to have a large library before we moved here, and we had to downsize because there's no bookshelves anywhere else in the house. And so this is what's left. These are the ones that I felt I couldn't part with yet. Plus, all this stack of books is ones that I've been taking apart and using for journals, and I will continue to do so, but I may have to find another place to put those. Up here on this shelf, it's just more knick-knack items that I've collected through the years, some vintage and some throughout travels. And on this shelf, it's just pretty items that I like to display, some that I have made through time. Yeah, so it'll probably stay. It's okay. Then down here, this desk is one that I moved here with. It used to be a dark brown wooden color, and I've painted it white and added new handles. It is my office desk. It houses my computer and my Epson printer. And stacked on top of it are just extra office papers. And I'll go through the drawers at another time. It's just all office supply, inks and stuff. More papers housed here. This is just another item for displaying a few things that I have. This old purse that I found many years ago in a thrift store. And beside it is my perpetual calendar that I was talking about that has different plates, one for every month of the year. And as I move sideways, there's filing cabinet for personal stuff. That's the only place to store anything in the house that's office related. And on top of that, I have a few scrapbooks that I've made, some beads and embellishments that I've made, and I display on this hanger various colors. I use them on my books, or I use them in junk swaps. Down here is my Rasco cart. I believe I got this one on Amazon. And for now, it houses all my jewelry supplies and beads, my hot glue gun, treats for my dogs, and the hot glue's in here. I actually have 3 hot glue guns here. And then over beside it is just a temporary table. It is covered in stuff right now that I'm going through and purging and figuring out what I'm going to do with. The biggest area in my house that I want to redo, and I will step back and see if I can give you an overview of all of this, are these shelves. They're not working for me right now because they came like this with all different little pockets, and I can only put small stuff in there, about 5 inches by 4 inches and about 10 inches deep. but it doesn't work really well. It's just too many things to look through. So I'm trying to convince my husband to repurpose them, take out a few of them, and make bigger spaces similar to this. So I was just playing around with this a little bit and decided I'm going to videotape, so I haven't gone any further. But I'd like to be able to fit bins like those that are on top, or even some that I'm going to order that have lids. I just think it'll work better and I can organize better, and if I label everything, I'll know where it is. This part down here is really embarrassing. This is kind of a catch-all for papers. I have strips of papers that I'll use at some point in ephemera, some oddball ephemera that I've made and haven't used yet. There's a box underneath all of this that is my daughter's stuff that she wants me to do scrapbooking with. And these two hold various sizes of cutoffs and paper scraps that I use for ephemera. This box just hasn't got put back yet. It's all ephemera in there, and it's all random, and it has been cataloged and put names put on it all. It usually goes in that spot. So that just needs to be put away. And then more random items all on these shelves. There's photographs in these boxes that I scrapbooked with. And in these two, there are items on these shelves that came from my mom's house when she passed away that I have to decide if I'm keeping or not. There's more jewelry items there and down here for making jewelry, and now I just use the beads in my junk journals. Up top, I have various baskets and bins. This one on the very end houses boxes that I don't want to part with yet and rolls more in that basket. This is papers and vintage items that I coffee dye and tea dye that have not been done yet. In here are some scrapbooking kits, and here as well, just small kits that come ready assembled and you just add ephemera and pictures to them. This is papers that I have coffee dyed and tea dyed. Jewelry display kits. These 4 baskets on top have envelopes, jewelry, various things. Sorry, I apologize. My dogs are playing and they're roughhousing. Over in the very end basket is embroidery threads and miscellaneous materials beside that. This is some of my cardstock and papers. It needs to be all organized. My cardboard that I've been saving. And in these drawers down here are more pieces of paper, mostly cardstock, and jewelry items. And these 4 brown paper I've been saving. In the corner, these are more photos through the years that I've saved. And that cabinet that they're sitting on top is right now my sewing cabinet. It was my mother's, and that's what she used it for, so I still use it for that. Then some random items that I'm displaying. In here there are some paper punches. And then this cabinet holds, I think, 8 iris containers. But I have extra, and so there's some on the floor beside it. I need to find a way to store those. And that's my Christmas ephemera I was working with. I haven't put away yet. More random stuff. This is a kit that I'm going to be making a peacock kit, so I'm just saving stuff in there for the kit. Above that, I have a shelf, and it just holds a few knickknacks and pictures of my family and my parents who have passed on. Under it is my ribbon holder. And then this desk is another desk I got. Actually, I think this one was my mother's, and it was a dark brown, and I've painted it as well. And it is my sewing desk. And housed on top of it are some cutters, whiteboard. I have some stencils here that I use when I'm tea dyeing, coffee dyeing. And in this album is my stamps, my clear stamps, and then my score pal in the back. This door just leads into a cold room for storing groceries and jams and stuff. So anybody who wants anything has to walk all through my craft room. So I have to keep the walk-through area clean. In this cabinet, I picked this one up at a Facebook Marketplace sale for fairly cheap. It was a cabinet somebody wanted to get rid of, but it's quite old. Again, it was a dark brown, and I've repainted the outside of it. And inside it, it houses scrapbooking books, papers and kits down at the bottom, and clear stamps, wooden stamps, various items. It's not too messy. So I'll probably clean it last. And on top of that is just more stuff I've collected, bling, old jewelry pieces. And here it's all scrapbooking stickers and ephemera. And then we come around to my long desk that my husband built for me. He repurposed these posts, and he had this big long desktop. He made it. He had it cut, and he refinished it, and he put it on top of these two antique dresser pieces, this one and this one on this side. So there is room for two people to sit at this desk here and here, but it's never been used that way because there's just too much stuff stored on there. So this is all things that I've used through Christmas that all needs to be put away. A bowl with some punches, my long stapler, my extra light, and there's LED lights under this shelving unit. And then all this is stuff that I'm sorting through right now. And on my desk is just all my tools of the trade, pens, papers, brushes, tape, glues, and whatnots. Above it are these sets of drawers. These I found at a thrift store, and they were plywood, unpainted, so I painted them white. There's a set of 6 across the bottom, and then another set of 3 on top. And on top of them are various things, buttons and bling, pictures, laces, trims, just whatnots that I use in my books. Over here, some sticker books and some tapes. And on top, those are book covers of journals I'm going to use to make. There is more trims and lace up there, paper napkins, and those books have paper napkins in them. And that basket is full of old hankies. And I think it's mostly old hankies. Down in the bottom in this section, it houses some tools. Not a lot. I used to have a Cricut and I sold it because I wasn't using it. These are buckets with bling in them, and that blue case on the bottom has all different scissors. And in these drawers, I'll go through them in more detail later, but they're mostly just things that I use every day. Spare tools and spare glue. So yeah, and then we're back around to my entry door, and this is my wall of inspiration. I'll soon have to take it down and start another one for 2022, and I'll probably make those into a journal. So that's it for today. And again, I apologize for the background noise. My dogs are resting again. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. After I've done a little bit of cleanup, I'll come and do a second tour to show you where I'm at. But for now, I need to order some more storage bins and just basically get stuff for Christmas put away. And then I can see where I'm at and see if I can get my husband to agree to help me fix these shelves the way I want them. So I hope you enjoyed the start of this video, and I'll see you later once I've made some progress. Thanks for watching.